In the far west of Kenya, beyond the sprawling sugarcane fields and the shimmering waters of Lake Victoria, lies a place called Ligongo Village. Here, in 1972, a boy was born into a humble family, the youngest of 7 siblings. His name, John Mbadi Ngongo. To many Kenyans today, Mbadi is known as the nation's Treasury Cabinet Secretary, the man who controls the flow of money in and out of government coffers. But his story is far richer than titles. It is the story of grit, discipline, quiet ambition, and the ability to navigate the dangerous waters of Kenyan politics without sinking. Growing up in Wasi South, Suba South constituency, young Mbadi's world was small, but his dreams were vast. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, life in Ligongo meant early mornings in the shamba, long walks to school, and evenings lit by kerosene lamps. His parents, though not wealthy, understood the value of education. They instilled in him a belief that books could open doors no amount of inheritance could ever. At Ligongo Primary School, Mbadi was not the loudest pupil, but teachers noticed something about him, an unusual focus for a boy his age. By 1986, he had completed his KCPE and set his sights higher. High school took him to Kokuro Boys High School. This was the late 1980s, a time when access to quality education in rural Kenya was still a privilege. Mbadi seized it with both hands, balancing academic excellence with quiet but determined personality. By 1990, he had completed his KCSE, and then came the big leap, University of Nairobi. Here, in the bustling capital, Mbadi will step into a completely different world. He pursued a Bachelor of Commerce degree, graduating in 1996, but he didn't stop there. By 1999, he had earned the coveted title of Certified Public Accountant, CPA, a professional badge that will open corporate doors. In 2007, he returned to Nairobi University, this time for his MBA. Education from Mbadi wasn't just a phase, it was an investment. Fresh out of university, Mbadi began his professional journey at the Student Welfare Authority as an assistant accountant in 1996. 3 years later, he joined the University of Nairobi, steadily climbing the ladder from accountant to senior accountant. But perhaps his most defining corporate role came at Media East Africa, where he served as regional finance director. His portfolio covered Kenya, Uganda, Somalia, and South Sudan, challenging, often unstable environments where every financial decision could mean the difference between success and collapse. This role shaped him into crisis manager, a skill set that will later prove vital in the equally turbulent world of Kenyan politics. The year was 2008. Kenya was still healing from the deadly post-election violence that had shaken the nation. A by-election was announced in Wasi constituency. Few saw the quiet accountant as a likely contender, but Mbadi had deep roots in the community and a reputation for integrity. He entered the race and he won. In parliament, he was not a noisemaker. He was a numbers man, dissecting budget reports, asking tough financial questions, and speaking in a language many MPs struggled to master: fiscal discipline. By 2012, Mbadi's sharp mind had earned him a spot in the office of the Prime Minister as Assistant Minister, working under Raila Odinga. In this role, he was more than a political appointee. He was a problem solver, bridging gaps between policy and execution. The 2013 general elections brought new changes. The old Wasi constituency was split, and Mbadi now represented the Suba constituency, later renamed Suba South in 2017. His influence was growing. Inside ODM, Mbadi's rise was steady. By the mid-2010s, he had become ODM national chairman, steering the party through turbulent political seasons. In parliament, he was leader of minority, the phase of opposition debates on the floor of the house. He took on budget policy with surgical precision, warning against reckless borrowing, inflated expenditure, and hidden budget lines. His most notable legislative contribution came with the Public Finance Management Act of 2012, a landmark law that set new standards for accountability in public spending. One thing set Mbadi apart from many Kenyan politicians: he could work across political divides. Even while being a fierce ODM loyalist, he was respected by political rivals for his professional grasp of finance. In committees like Public Accounts, Budgets and Appropriation, and the House Business Committee, his contributions carried weight. He became known as the man who could translate millions, billions, and trillions into simple terms every Kenyan could understand. In July 2024, Kenya's political class was stunned. President William Ruto, leader of UDA, nominated John Mbadi, a senior ODM figure, as Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning. It was an unexpected alliance, raising eyebrows and sparking speculation about a quiet handshake between Ruto and Raila. On August 8, 2024, Mbadi was sworn in, inheriting one of the toughest jobs in Kenya, steering the economy amid debt, inflation, and public desertification. His early policy stance was clear: no new tax rate hikes in the 2025-2026 budget. Instead, he vowed to tighten compliance, plug revenue leaks, and prioritize efficient. Away from the noise of politics and policy, John Mbadi is a family man. He is married to Rhoda Mbadi, and they have 2 children, Natalie and Maxwell. He keeps his private life low-key, rarely posting about his family. During his 2024 vetting, he declared assets worth 437 million Kenyan shillings, liabilities of 57 million Kenyan shillings, and a net worth of 380 million Kenyan shillings. It was a glimpse into a man who had not just risen politically, but also built substantial personal wealth. From the dusty parts of Ligongo to the polished corridors of Treasury, Mbadi's journey is one of discipline and strategic positioning. But the Treasury is a battlefield. Every budget he presents will be scrutinized. Every economic decision will be debated. If he delivers, he could become one of the most respected economic managers in Kenyan history. If he fails, his name could be tied to Kenya's financial struggle for years to come. John Mbadi's story teaches us that in life and in politics, preparation is everything. It's not always the loudest voice that wins the day, but the one that can back every word with numbers that add up. From Wasi to Treasury, from accountant to national policymaker, this is the journey of a man who turned numbers into powers and power into influence.
My leadership as the cabinet secretary. We have issues of eco levy, we have left it out because, I mean, we are not considering it because one, there are any issue that was contentious, we want to put those to abeyance. Even if they will come, they will come later, not at this point in time. We have issues with the vehicle circulation, motor vehicle circulation.